This part of the site is the British Guard camp, and all around here would have been huts for the British soldiers.
This is the main entrance into the POW camp. We can perhaps imagine what life was like for the prisoners here, with no freedom and no end to the war in sight. It's not surprising that internment camps like this were rife with depression. Welcome to the last remaining First World War barrack hut in the prisoner of war camp. It measures 120 feet by 20 feet and would have been home to about 50 prisoners. And work is currently going on to conserve this building for future generations. As we walk around the hut, you will see the concrete pillars are set into the ground at the corners and at regular intervals around the perimeter. Iron brackets were set into the concrete, and these were attached to the base of the hut via a large bolt to hold it in place. Mortared bricks are laid between the concrete pillars. It was in huts like this one that prisoners spent their internment. They ate and slept in the huts and practiced a variety of handicrafts, from carving cow bones, making toys and furniture, writing the POW camp newspaper, Stobs and putting on theatre shows and concerts. We're here in the middle of Camp D's ancillary buildings, and the arrangement here would have been the same in Camps A, B and C. Here we've got kitchens, ablutions blocks, wash-up areas and bathhouses, and here between the steps we've got the kitchen of Camp D. With so many prisoners at the camp, it's inevitable that death occurs, and the reasons for most of the deaths were illnesses, wounds sustained from conflict, and even depression. In this image we can see a large funeral procession led by a band, followed by sailors carrying a coffin, heading for the cemetery. We're here in the former German POW cemetery. The British government gave permission for the land to be used for a cemetery, and the prisoners put on theatre productions to pay towards the costs. 46 prisoners were buried at this cemetery, the first in May 1915, only months after the first military prisoners had arrived at Stobs. There were over a dozen burials in 1919, some as late as August. When the camp closed in the early 1960s, the bodies were disinterred and moved to Staffordshire in England. In this image we can see some of the headstones, stone steps and a memorial stone. The memorial had an inscription which read, "To our comrades who died far from home," written in German. The steps and stone seats are still visible today. The memorial stone was destroyed between 1947 and 1962. And in 2018, the Stobs Camp Project rebuilt the memorial as part of the centenary of Armistice, to remember the German internees that died here. We've sadly come to the end of the tour today, but please remember you can go to stobscamp.org and download the app for free, and then come and visit the site yourself. On there you'll hear conversations with a lady called Renee Curry, who was born in 1930 and moved here when she was just 2 years old. Please do look at stobscamp.org for lots more information, and follow us on Twitter @StobsCamp. Hoyk Museum is well worth a visit to see some of the artefacts made by the prisoners, and also visit the Heritage Hub, which is the home of the Internment Research Centre, which has lots more information about the internees here. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.